Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. Oh, are we keeping this in our hands?
Facebook Live. Facebook Live, yeah.
Is that the new song? We could write that.
That's a new song.
We could write that.
To pitch to Facebook.
Oh, that was definitely not whatever you were doing. I'm going to keep this down until we need it. Okay.
Hi, Shelby.
Hey, Stephen, Joseph, Antonelli, how are you, my dear?
I'm good. And yourself?
I'm just dandy.
We had a fun time working on this song, did we not?
We did. So I guess, I don't know if anyone is there right now. I guess we should just go for it.
Let's just go for it.
So, hey guys, it is Shelby Blondell. You may know me, you may not. But I'm here with Stephen Joseph Antonelli, who is like an engineering writing goddess. I was going to say goddess. God, you're like a...
Or goddess.
Yeah. And we are done with Mercy, and it is coming out June 17th.
And it's going to be good.
Is it?
It is good.
It is good. I'm excited. Not going to be. It is good.
It is good. 17th of June.
June 17th, which is 2 weeks from now.
And you have a lot of stuff planned with this song. A lot of little, like, contacts that are going to, like, do their thing with it. You know, this could get some serious press.
It could. I'm excited. It's been, like I said, like, it's been, like, a year of this, like, writing Christian music and not really putting it out yet. And so it was really fun to sit down with you and kind of talk about the reasons, like, why my faith is so important to me and why I wanted to kind of go this route, and then to really dig deep, very deep,
yeah.
and write something that was kind of a launch into this realm a little bit, I think. This song, yeah.
But you'd written more songs, Christian songs, before this, right?
I had. This, like, past year and a half. Like, I do this thing, I don't know about anyone else out there. So every singer, musician knows, like, the acoustics in a bathroom are the best. So that's how I've written.
They're not good for recording, though.
Not for recording, no, but...
They sound horrible when you record. They do. They sound, it bounces everywhere.
But otherwise, it sounds really good. So... like Dancing in the Rain, Fun in the Sun, a lot of my songs that are already out there, like, how they've come about is, like, I take my phone into the bathroom, put it on record, and just, like, improv. Like, that's how Dancing in the Rain came Fun in the Sun, and the past, like, year and a half, every time I've done it, it's been these, like, Christian songs. And I've kind of been fighting it and not really like, okay, well, these are more so for me, I'm not going to put these out. So when I reached out to you, it was kind of like, hey, I think I want to do this, and you instantly challenged me
with your subject matter.
With my subject matter.
The thing is, I've been trying to work with you for 2 years, 3 years before that.
That's true.
You kept snubbing me. But
we waited till something great.
Yes, that's one. And number two, you snubbed me for good reason, because your producer, who you still work with, and Tony Corelli. If you were snubbing me for Tony, then that would be okay.
And I think the thing with me is, like, I love all the guys I get to work with. So, like, working with Tony is amazing. Working with you is amazing. And it's really cool to be able to continue to work with a lot of different people, because for me, you know, I feel like every song has, you know, people behind it who can connect more or something. And I know in your past, you've had a lot of history in the Christian world with some of your other work.
Living there and yeah, playing with Christian musicians and sort of being around it in Nashville, and yeah, I mean, but that was my involvement with it was years ago. I mean,
right.
It's changed so incredibly much.
Right.
Wait a minute, let me ask you this: when did you start listening to Christian music? Like, really?
Really, it's only really been about 2 years.
Okay. So before that, what were your influences?
Sarah Bareilles is still an influence, but I was really big into, like, Sarah Bareilles, Jason Mraz, Andy Grammer, Adele, and then I love, like, The Temptations and Johnny Cash, some of that, like, old feel-good stuff. But, you know, I've always enjoyed musicians who actually have had a faith background. Sarah Bareilles, Andy Grammer, they're all very, you know, they've had they have a very like Christian background.
Do they really?
They do, and even people like the Jonas Brothers, I get a lot of flack for that. But even like the Jonas Brothers growing up,
that show came on the other day. The girls are watching it on Disney, and it sucks. It sucks.
Dude.
I'm telling you, nobody should like the Jonas Brothers.
Oh wait, there's comments. Should we be looking at
but
this?
I will say that they all three have good voices.
I know, right? You should love them. Because the Jonas Brothers are Steven, come on.
But I think they have good voices. Anyway, all right. So
Rude.
I was gonna ask you about one other person. The girl that she's got like cat eye glasses, and she's always wearing glasses.
Is she a Christian girl?
No, it just came to my mind when you were talking about Sarah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like her.
I do like her. I just wanna be okay. Be okay.
She's got good,
be okay.
good stuff. Yeah, I like her stuff. And she was like early MySpace getting started, and then she did like some kind of TV deal.
MySpace were the days.
MySpace, man. I followed Kesha when Kesha was nothing on MySpace.
Oh,
she was wild then.
Kesha's a little bit different than Christian music.
Yeah. And she was wild then. She was crazy then.
But yeah, that was like, and then I think for me, I don't know, my faith, I feel like my life, there's been a lot that has happened in my life that my faith has been what's kept me here, you know? It's,
yeah. You grew up Catholic.
I grew up Catholic elementary, middle school, high school, and faith it stayed a really big part of my life.
Did you go to youth group and...
Yeah, but, you know, I feel like everyone does this, where you have those periods, too, where, like, your faith gets pretty rocky. It's like you step away or something. But for me, I felt that my faith I've always come back to it, no matter what. And every time I come back, it's stronger. And I know, especially the church in general, but especially the Catholic Church right now.
Well, always. That was always the thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you go to Catholic school?
I did. Yeah. It was
so you went to Catholic school, grew up Catholic, and you're still Catholic, and you still like it.
I still like it, and I think that's the behind mercy. You know, it's when I was trying to debate, like, do I want to get into doing Christian music? One of my thoughts was, what, like, you instantly get from people like, oh my God, you're Christian or you're Catholic with all this stuff that's going on, and the reality is, yeah, I am. There's a lot of stuff that's gone on in the Catholic Church that I'm not proud about to say has happened. I'm not saying any of that's okay. There's sex abuse scandals. I went to Seton Keogh High School, which there's a Netflix series about my high school. But
I didn't know you went there.
Yeah, but, you know, the truth is my faith, I think, is also stronger because of those things, and realizing that, you know, God has mercy for everyone. We all sin. We all have things, and we're born into sin.
Yeah.
We all have sin, we all have things that we do, but God has mercy for everyone. And, you know, that's really one of the main storylines behind mercy is, you know, God has brought me out of my darkest days, and it's His mercy that, you know, brings you through.
Yeah, and you think about all the atrocities, and it makes the news, right? It's such it turns so many people's stomachs of what's happened in the Catholic Church. That Netflix little series was just a tip of the iceberg of what people really think. But if you truly believe in Christianity, in God, in Jesus, and in mercy, in forgiveness of sins, there is no degree of sin.
Right.
There's just sin.
Right.
There's the ego, you know. So it's hard to swallow. For me, talking to you about this, it's hard to swallow that those guys in the Catholic Church, those priests, they really deserve a special place, you know. But everybody sins. We're born into sin, like you said, you know, like, so it's kind of hard to swallow sometimes.
It is. No, it is. And it's, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy to swallow that, but it's the reality of God's mercy is so much, there's so much more power in God's mercy than in any sin, you know, which is, you know, that was hard for me. It took me for a while to understand that. But that's the truth of it.
Yeah.
No?
Because if it wasn't true, then there would be degrees of sin, which means there'd be some kind of, like, you know, checkoff system for mercy.
Gold stars.
Yeah. Well, I didn't do that. Yeah. But so I deserve mercy. You don't.
Yeah.
So your faith in music, though, this is the first branch out into
This is the first branch out. Oh gosh, there's comments though too. I'm sorry, guys. Are people actually? Hi, what's going on? Hi, Sorry, guys.
That thing's so far back. There's another comment.
Sorry, what is happening? Oh gosh. Okay, power. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. We're excited to share it with you. But yeah, so this is the first Shelby Blondell as a Christian artist. So for me, I've always tried to have a positive message in anything I say because
you're not in a death metal band.
No, I mean, and I always say this with my music. So growing up, I've had a couple brain surgeries. I was in and out of the hospital, and still now, like, I'm still dealing with a lot of health things. And for me, like, there was an instance when I was in the hospital that I remember telling my mom, like, it's okay. God sat with me and told me I'll be okay. And that's kind of...
And that's true.
Yeah. And that's a memory that I've kind of taken with me in my music career and looked at that as saying, like, okay, well, why did that happen? Like, there's a reason that I'm still here. There's a reason that I'm able to do what I'm doing. My bigger, I think, calling is to be able to try to touch people's lives. So I've always said that with my music, that it's about being a songwriter and trying to have an impact and touch people's lives. But I think what I've been fighting this past year is that bigger message that God's been calling me to kind of take this different approach. And I haven't really done it yet because I've been afraid to take that leap of faith. But why have I been afraid to take it? So I'm really...
Well, your whole brand wasn't built on any of that.
No.
And fortunately and unfortunately, it's a different genre.
Yeah.
It's pop, but it's a different genre.
Right. Yeah. So I'm I started getting really into, like, Mercy Me, the I Can Only Imagine movie. That I'm huge into them. Lauren Daigle and For King and Country and Zach Williams, incredible. Like, we're both.
Do you like Need to Breathe?
I do, actually.
I like them.
They're really good. But so for anyone listening, Steven and I are both members of the Recording Academy together, and I was at the Grammys last year and got to meet Zach Williams, and anyone who doesn't know, he's a Christian singer, Chainbreaker and Fear is a Liar, and he was at the Grammys, and this was when the Christian music I started writing, like, was coming to me, and he was there, and I got to talk with him for a while, and I asked him about it. I was like, I told him what was going on. He, like, was asking about me and my music, and I said, actually, like, I'm fighting right now. I've been coming up with a lot of Christian music. I don't really know what to do with it, and he was like, why are you fighting it so much? Mm-hmm. And so, like, I think about that moment too, and I'm like, why have I been fighting putting this out so much? And it is, though, I think, like we talked about, it's with, people instantly hear Catholic or the church in general, and there's a lot of negativity there.
Yeah. I mean, the numbers are dropping.
Yeah.
People are dropping off going to church. Just don't go to church like they used to. And I don't know what the exact numbers are, but it's drastic. It is. People are losing their faith.
People are losing their faith, but I think the reality is, in desperate times, even the people who have lost their faith come back to it. Like, what do people do when they're dying or someone's sick? They pray and they ask people for their hopes and prayers, and people really come together and around prayer and Jesus, and people have very valid reasons to go away from the church. But, there's also, I think, a different level of understanding, though, that in realizing just how great God is, that can help bring them back.
Yeah, but I agree with that. If I know you, I would say that, and I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't imagine you seem like the kind of person that's still going to talk about life issues and love and loss, and where it's, because there's a pigeonhole with Christian music,
right?
Because if you, like, this song isn't a worship song.
No.
The chorus is kind of like that.
The worship is kind of, yeah.
Right. So because the lyrics are like...
The lyrics are about life. It's...
Right.
The reality is it's all about life. I'm sorry, this is rude.
No, it's good. You have to do that.
Hi, What's up?
You should ask Shelby a question.
Yeah, feel free to ask me a question. I'll try to answer it. Let's see.
You'll answer it.
Don't make me answer it.
Definitely answer it.
Okay, all right.
What were we talking about?
I don't know.
Before you sort of rudely went over to your face.
There's people watching. We have to pay attention.
You have to do it. I know.
But we really will answer questions. Well, maybe not. I see Troy Pritt's watching. Maybe I won't answer.
That thing doesn't have a wide.
You know, you're done. You're done.
No, I just didn't know.
We were talking about.
You know what I mean? If you got it closer, if it was wide, but it'd be best to have Facebook Live on like a big screen.
Well, we planned this off the.
Yeah, just like tonight.
Yeah, I literally showed up. What are we gonna do tonight? I don't know. We're gonna do a Facebook Live about this new song. Because why not? You were asking about music and
I was just saying
I
can't imagine that you would get away from sort of like the life. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you will just maybe you will eventually do like a worship record. But you have a lot of stories and a lot of songs, and they're internal in you. They're based around God and the church and everything that you hold dear. But some people don't. So I feel like you segregate a certain, you know what I mean? Right,
and for me, and I think this is kind of also what I've said about my music in general. Like, people ask me, what genre are you under? What genre is your music? And I always have said, like, it's if you could imagine Johnny Cash, Adele, and Sarah Bareilles having a tailgate. Because to me, like, I didn't like the idea of being pigeonholed into one genre. Because to me, it's about the song. And what does the song need? What does that story need to get a message across to other people? And that's kind of how I want to approach this too. It's, it's not necessarily going to be all worship or all Christian. This next single definitely is, and I've got a lot more music that is going to be more Christian, more worshipy. But that's not going to stop me from writing about
pop songs,
life.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, they might be a little more poppy and still be maybe much more faith-based than what they were, but it's definitely going to be, I think, still inspirational.
Well, a lot of your songs are inspirational.
What's your all-time favorite Christian song? What is the one song that uplifts Shelby Blondell on, oh gosh, that is long. I can't see the rest of it. On a bad day. Ooh.
I bet it's something by Mercy May.
Oh,
'cause you're a big fan.
That's, oof. So, that's a two-parter. Okay, Troy? So, Chainbreaker by Zach Williams, which is kind of why it was, like breathtaking meeting him at the Grammys, because that song, Chainbreaker by Zach Williams, was the first song that started me off really listening to Christian music. I was driving, was doing that thing where you, like, randomly go through the radio. Chainbreaker was on. I'd never heard it before. I was driving, started crying, and had to pull over.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so it was like an out-of-body experience then, getting to meet him at the Grammys. But then also you think about, like, full circle, and you ask those questions about, like, why something happens or what. And that was definitely one of those reasons. But, so that's definitely one that gets me. But Mercy Me, I Can Only Imagine, is the other one that, like, even if I know that song's kind of
interesting because that's
sad.
Played.
Yeah, but
I would think you'd have as an artist, you'd have like a
well, so
tucked away secret song.
Well, so I Can Only Imagine. When that movie came out, a good friend of mine, Liz, we went to high school together. That movie came out, and I knew what the movie was about, but there were some parts of it that I didn't necessarily, like, I didn't know the whole story, and I just was gonna go see the movie because I knew who Mercy Me was, but I don't know if anyone who's watching, or if you were even familiar about the storyline. It's about Bart and and
his dad and stuff,
dad and things he went through, and one of the things within that is Bart's a musician, and he's a singer, he's a songwriter, and his dad gets diagnosed with cancer, and that week my mom had gotten diagnosed. So that was also like another one of those like, okay, there's a reason I'm seeing this movie. There's a reason all this is happening. There's just a lot within that movie that was just really coincidental. So it was, very interesting. God is awesome. You're awesome, Donna. Also, keep sending questions. That was good, Troy. That's that answer.
That's a good answer. Well, you see, it was a 2-part.
Well, because there were 2 chain breaker, and then I can only imagine.
No, but he said something else. Oh, to brighten your day.
Right?
No, that's right.
I think that was all. Okay.
Yeah. So, I don't know how much you like to talk about this, but you really had a traumatic childhood. I mean, like traumatic when you were a baby, right? You were a baby. How old was all that?
I was 3.5 for my first craniotomy, and Ben Carson did that, and then the second and second one was like 4.5, and we did University of Maryland for that one, and then there were a couple other things. We traveled to like JFK Hospital in Philly, I think it was. And then there were a bunch of like other little things like spinal taps and like
it was all because of what?
It was craniosynostosis, which is basically really high intracranial pressure, which is something that they normally catch when a baby's like 3 months. I was quite a bit older, so it was.
Can they catch it sooner? It's different.
They catch it sooner. It's not as abrasive. So for me, like 3 months versus 3 years is a lot of time. If you could perform with any artist, past, present, who would it be and why? What song? Troy, you are just laying them on me. I will come back to that one. But yeah, so like 3.5, 4.5, and then as far as like very major surgeries that have had to happen, nothing really yet. A lot of like procedural kind of things.
So it's still there. I mean, there's something still there.
So, yeah. So like daily headaches, which are not headaches, it's more something way past a migraine. But it's one of like you just.
It's that bad?
Yeah. But you just get used to those things. Like people have it worse.
Well, that's
like,
true.
People have it worse, and for me, it took me a while. Growing up, I loved sports, and I loved lacrosse. Mm-hmm. I had to wear a men's lacrosse helmet playing lacrosse.
Why?
Because I still don't have skull on the top or back of my head.
Oh, okay.
So even stuff like the weather changes, pressure changes in the air, whatever. That, yeah. So like this morning, I woke up like feeling awful because it's been so hot, and then this morning it was like cold. I was like, come on, Maryland weather. But yeah, so it's it's just one of those things that you just learn to deal with. But I feel like I've been able to use that in my story in a way with my music. So like I do a lot of speaking and playing for children's hospitals and children's hospital conventions, or just in general trying to use that as a way to talk about hope and to talk about life. And yes, people have it worse, but also it's letting people see that everyone has something. We all have something, and knowing that you're not alone, knowing that there's always something waiting.
And your faith has been a part of that process all the way through.
It has.
Which strengthens the person, regardless. If you have a hardship like that, you either believe or you don't believe.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I think, like I said, for me, like there's been things that have happened that I've kind of gone back on my faith, but it's every time I've gone away, I've come right back, and it's always been stronger each time. And I think this time, my faith is maybe. There's been a lot happening that maybe my faith has had to be really strong, but
it's faith. It's not.
Faith.
It's not a fact. It's not facts, and it's not tangible. It's faith.
It's faith.
It's something you hang on to because you believe that it's true. So it's obviously going to ebb and flow. I think, don't you think?
I think so. I think we all have those moments where life gets, it gets hard, and what's your favorite scripture verse? Gosh, all these questions. Okay, I promise I'm getting back to them.
Yeah, we should. Troy, what did Troy ask?
Troy asked
Who's your favorite artist?
My favorite. Who I don't play with.
Alice Cooper. Slayer.
Are we asking who does Steve
want
to play?
I'm guessing.
Todd, I think Todd's watching. Todd might like Slayer. But Ooh.
Well, you mentioned a lot of cool artists that you like.
So good. I mean, I love Johnny Cash. I mean, he's past. You did say it could be past or present, Troy. Johnny Cash was a big one, but like
you would love to open for Johnny Cash.
That would be fun. But so Jason Mraz and Sarah Bareilles, those I think would be pretty unbelievable. Those would be unbelievable. But also like, I really am a huge Mercy Me fan. I mean, not just because it's the title of the song, but like, Mercy Me, I am a huge, huge, huge fan of Mercy Me and Lauren Daigle. I think Lauren Daigle is one of those artists who is... a lot of Christian artists now are breaking the barrier, I think, and you can hear them on a lot of mainstream stations, and I think Lauren Daigle is really doing that. I don't really know before her who it was that was doing... I mean, I remember when You Say came out, she was number one on the charts and like beating Drake and stuff. So to have a Christian artist do that was incredible.
Yeah.
But I think what that showed is that people I think like there's this I think trend, and I've gotten this trend for a while too, where it's like I'm not religious. I'm just spiritual or something, and I think that was kind of the way people were thinking, but within that saying, like, that doesn't mean, like, my faith is not important, I don't believe in this, that, but I think what Lauren Daigle doing that proved is that how faith is so important to people, and that really is the root for a lot of people.
And she's just got a great voice, and the production's great, and, you know.
It's amazing. You know what else is great? The production on Mercy.
Yeah.
Because of this guy, guys, if you weren't there in the beginning when you came on here, well, I'm Shelby, you know that. But this is Stephen Antonelli, and he is an incredible writer, producer, SongBuilder Studios here in Catonsville, Maryland.
Catonsville.
Seville. And he's the other mastermind behind the song. So we started counting-ish, and there are almost 100 tracks on this song. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty crazy.
It's pretty crazy.
But it's pretty awesome.
I find that 50's normal. I find it always ends up being 50. So there's a few more. We did a lot of background vocals.
We did do there are a lot of Mercies, and lots of Shelby length.
You gotta explain your Shelby
length. Should I explain Shelby length?
Let me explain it.
Okay.
She was blowing out the mic. She was so loud, she was blowing out the mic.
Sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
And so kept saying, go back. And she was like, should I go back more? And it still sounded good because she was belting really loud. So it didn't, it's not like it got the room or anything. And so we dubbed it the Shelby length.
The Shelby length.
From the mic.
Which is a 5.9 length from the microphone to...
5 feet? Probably about that, wasn't it?
It was literally the length of me.
Let's show them the mic. Let's show them the...
Should we show them Shelby length?
Show them the Shelby length.
I don't know if this works. If we can do this. Okay.
We can do it. I'll hold it.
Or if I do this and I follow it. Oh, gosh. This is... Oh, man. This is going to be really good. Oh, wait. Can we switch this back? I don't... Okay. Well, you might have to... Okay.
I'll just hold it. Yeah.
Okay. So... All right. Here we go. We're just going to... All right. So normally when people sing, they're like here, right? You want to be like away from the mic, right? Well, unless you're singing this song, and we'll let you hear a little bit of it, and you'll see why. So, Shelby length. Well, let's just...
Let's see. How tall are you?
I'm 5'9".
Were you back there where your head is?
And this is where we recorded Mercy from.
Did you really that far back?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was...
And it sounds good.
That's quite a...
That's a 5... Yeah, it's 5 feet. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
This angle of the Shelby
length. This is the angle of the Shelby length.
All right.
Oh, and you guys are getting a little tour of the studio, too, while you're at it.
I'm not sure how this... I don't know how this works.
Well, we'll just get back to it.
Any more questions you got there, Shelby?
I don't... He is an Orioles fan. What other fan are you? Are you a Ravens fan too?
I'm an Orioles fan, but I really don't follow too much.
Oh, sorry.
So I know that everybody hates them, and their general manager everybody hates, and like my dad and my brother are so into it, and they tell me, and then I'll try to pick up like one person's name. Isn't Davis like a player on their team?
Is Chris Davis still a player? Is that still a thing?
And they'll mention people like that, and then when I'm in conversation, people are talking about the Orioles. I'm like, yeah, how about that Davis, man? But man, I gotta rep it.
That man.
This
man.
This is the Be More stuff.
All right. Well, you realize you gotta wear a hat. That's what had to happen. He is okay. Good. Glad you think that. Okay. Well, I don't know. We didn't really plan much for this. We just wanted to talk about the song and maybe share some of the song.
Want to play or you want to play?
Questions. Do you guys want us to like play the song, or do you want us to give you a glimpse of the actual song? Like, do you want a little bit of live, or do you want like the real deal?
And you just have to wait for these responses.
Just wait for the responses.
It's gonna be so cool when it's. What do you say?
Sure. No. Okay, Troy. Here was the question: do you want the live acoustic with the guitars, or do you want like live? Oh, you choose.
He said you choose. Yeah. We've never played it together except in this.
Why don't we like play a little bit
and then play that?
And then play that.
Okay. I was going to mention something a second ago. What was it?
Keep it coming.
Oh, it's going to be cool if in the future where there's like holograms of the actual people standing in the room.
Yeah. Oh.
Did you hear that?
I
just dropped some serious knowledge, some technological future knowledge.
That's so crazy. It's so crazy.
Can you imagine that? Like, 100 people just like holograms sitting in the room.
I'm sure I feel
and they
about
could
that.
Ask.
I'm not sure how I feel about that, but
it'd be cool.
That would be.
And when that happens, we know we can get the Beatles back together. They'll do a hologram Beatles tour.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of cool. All right.
Play
we're going to do both.
Okay.
We're going to do both.
But can you play it in A?
Are you serious? Are you making me do that?
Yeah. Does that bother you? When you get back down?
He's changing things on me for this live. Guys, this is awful. Okay. Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, guys,
We're just going to half step down.
Okay. Or I'll just make Steve play it. So also, I'm playing piano on the recording of this. So he's not only making me play guitar. I am playing guitar on it, too. But he's making me change. Okay. You just go.
We can do this, right?
We can, yeah. Is that what we're doing?
This song has only a few chords. Here we go.
Not yet. I don't know what you're playing there.
I'm playing like a A. It's an A with a.
Song actually is.
Yeah, we can go.
Thank you. All right, so this is the first look. I don't know how much we're giving you.
1, 2, 3, 4.
There's a piece inside my fire. A place I call home, a path I can't deny, but sleep conquers fear. Love overcomes because you pulled me out of my darkest days. I know I felt the love of His saving grace. He's washed me clean. I've been redeemed. Sees through our sins, and you just give me mercy, mercy, mercy. I've been set free. Mercy, mercy, mercy. I've been set free. Pull me out of my darkest days. I know I felt the love of His saving grace. He's washed me clean. I've been redeemed. Sees through our sins. If you just give in to His mercy, His mercy, His mercy. I've been set free. Mercy, mercy, mercy. I've been set free.
I wasn't sure when you were going to end it.
Wow, that is our first time playing
First
that
time ever.
together.
Not bad.
Well-
we can refine that.
Yeah, it'll be refined when you guys hear it on June. Let's see what happened as this was going on. Shelby Blondell Unplugged. That is right. So that was your first look into Mercy live. There was that. But June 17th, we're gonna let Steve take that.
Well, all right, they want to hear it on
They
the
do, I think, want to hear the real deal. But now that we're done actually singing, okay, what inspired me to become a songwriter? Where did that kid come from? Old school females. Okay, well, I'm going to let Steven pull this up. For me, where did this come? In high school, there was a girl in my class who was at St. Jude for treatment. And I started something called Concert for a Cure. So I got like local high schools to come together, local bands to come together, put on a benefit show 3 years in a row. The second year in doing it, I've always played music, but the second year in doing that, I wrote a song for the event called Hope Begins Tomorrow. And that was really my being on stage playing and seeing. Music has always impacted me, but that was my first time being on stage and seeing how my music could impact
And how old were
someone
you
else.
then?
Oh my gosh, my junior year of high school, so I 16?
Yeah.
16, I guess. And it was then when I was like, I realized like, okay, this is pretty cool. Like, I'm able to somehow touch these people's life. And
Because the subject matter was such,
yeah,
too, right?
yeah. And so then from then, that kind of, I think, really inspired me to start writing and make that a thing. So
It was off from there.
there's that.
Yeah,
Is
well,
that still my question?
you've done well with it, Shelby.
Thank you.
All right, here's the
Oh.
recording. Now, this recording, do you want to grab this and show them this? This might be cool, right?
Yeah, this could be cool. Okay, we'll do this. All right.
This recording is stems. There are 10 tracks in this session, but there were 70 tracks in the whole session. So these are just stems. For instance, the drums have 20 tracks, but this is just one track. They're consolidated. The bass is not a good example. There's several electrics. They're just in one track. So you're only seeing, 9 tracks, but it's the same mix.
Okay. Are we letting them hear this?
Yes, let them hear it.
All right, should I step away? Oh,
I don't know.
All right, so you guys are getting to hear, for the first time ever, the look into Mercy, which is coming out June 17th.
June 17th.
All right, here we go.
My fire and my guide, there's a faith I call home, a path I can't deny, but I agree there's been a blind eye. Man's greatest sins, cover-ups and lies, but he's pulled me out of my darkest days. I know redeemed, sees through all sins if you just give it.
Shelby like.
Here it goes.
Oh, it's fine.
See the radio fade.
Yeah.
That was Shelby Blondell.
That's all you
Local
guys
Maryland singer,
get
songwriter.
of that first look. Oh man. Oh gosh. Okay, what's happening? There it is. Well, that was a thing. That was the first look, guys, at Mercy.
First look.
First look.
And you have some promo video coming out.
Promo video coming
You
out.
have some radio stuff.
Radio
That's probably
stuff.
gonna happen.
Yes.
You have, in the future, a music video
Music
coming.
video coming.
I'm like
yes.
holding your feet to the fire about the music video. You just said it. If you say it on Facebook Live, it's a lie. If you don't,
It's alive and has to happen.
do it later,
It's
right?
definitely happening. No, with this, very excited. I'm, like I said, and even, I've done some stuff recently with Shine FM, and that's another thing that makes me really excited about this, because Shine FM, I don't know if anyone is watching from Shine. Hello, they're an amazing station, and they're close by.
Where are they at?
They actually are based out of Halethorpe.
Okay.
Which is super close, but like the Mercy Me concert that just happened at Royal Farms Arena, Royal Farms Arena, they brought them. Shine FM did, and Shine FM does a bunch of stuff like that, and they're really cool, fun to work with, and so it's always fun to work with them. And there's some plans with the song and some other stations and things, and maybe some Spotify playlists, and I'm excited. If you guys have Spotify playlists, you should add it on June 17th
Absolutely,
when it comes
you should,
out.
definitely. Or if you know anybody that has Spotify playlists, of which that song could fit, you should let Shelby know, because that is a big part of, it's like the new radio.
It is the new radio, and, even that's a new thing, and then also around the area, there's a bunch of the big churches that are doing things like bringing Tyrone Wells and doing a bunch of shows and stuff, so it would be fun once Mercy comes out. Get all your friends to hear it, and maybe we'll have to do like a special night concert, something.
Yeah.
For this release. That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
So.
With the band. It'd be nice if you did it with the band.
Yeah, that'd be really fun. We're going to bring Steven out of retirement, and we said it on Facebook, so it has to happen now.
You said it.
Everyone wants to hear you. Everyone wants to hear you. Come on.
I'd play some guitar on that. But I have to be paid a lot of money. Like, I'm talking like 10 G's.
You hear the man.
10 G's?
That's a lot of
that?
Spotify downloads.
Somebody in the music business is a hired hand, and they're getting paid. Like, let's say like Beyonce's guitar player.
Yeah, he's probably getting much more.
I don't know about 10 G's though.
I don't know about 10 G's. Not the guitar player.
I mean, they figure they pay 100. They play 100 dates. It's $100,000. No, it's not.
100.
That's $1 million. 10,000 times 100 is $1 million.
That's $1 million.
They're not making $1 million.
That's $1 million. No, the guitarist isn't.
Jay-Z didn't get to $1 billion by paying his band $1 million. Bless you, Jay-Z.
About that Christian music. Woo!
It's just the way it is, baby. What else are we going to talk about?
I don't know. I don't think we have anything else to talk about, do we?
I'm sure we could.
Do you have any
something,
more
but it would get
questions for
weird.
me?
I did have something.
Did anyone else have any more questions? There were a couple questions earlier, but I think we got to them. I don't really know. If anyone else has any questions, oh gosh, is that, then send them our way, or else he's gonna come up with some questions to ask me.
I don't know which. I had one for you.
Okay.
All right, let me just ask you some crazy questions.
Okay.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
But what shade blue?
Cobalt.
Cobalt blue.
Both. Like bright, very bright.
What's your favorite food?
Coffee.
It's not food.
Coffee's so a food.
It's not food. It's a drink.
Does everyone agree coffee is food? I think so.
Coffee's not food. Unless you're eating the
When is the release? June 17th. Everywhere you can buy anything digitally, literally.
Worldwide.
No, but really, it is worldwide.
It is worldwide.
It is worldwide. So that's kind of cool. So
Yeah.
you can say international release.
Right, it is international these days. Isn't that crazy? In one day, that hits every country. Actually, that's not true because...
You did just make me die a little on the inside.
But here's the thing. Spotify was just allowed, I think, it just came to, like, Iran or like, China or something.
I'm pretty... Yeah.
It just came there. Like, it wasn't there before.
Is Shelby... In Shelby land, coffee is food. Yeah, coffee. Definitely.
No, it's not.
Okay, well, if it's not coffee, then... I don't know. Coffee beans.
If you said that, that's food. If
Right?
you're actually eating
I had to
coffee.
clarify. Come on. If I pretend that I chew this, does that then make it food?
No. I knew you were going to do that. All right,
So good.
so how about, like, an actual food? Let's just... Okay, pick your number 2 food, if that's food.
I do love salmon.
Salmon, okay.
And, well, I mean, I have to say I like steamed crabs. It's kind of...
You love steamed crabs. Hey, how do you open a steamed crab?
Well, you use this fancy thing called the sheller, which is the first ever flat stainless steel crab mallet picker bottle opener.
Where do you get that at? Amazon? How do you get this thing?
Amazon or thescheller.com.
People may not even know you do that.
Oh, but they do. Matzo ball soup. Oh, those are just for you, Troy.
Matzo ball soup is good.
You're coming to the matzo ball party then.
What's that?
Troy, great friend, has a matzo ball party every
Matzo
year.
ball party?
Yeah.
Multiple matzo
Celebrate Christmas and Hanukkah.
balls? Oh, cool.
They do a matzo ball party. It's
Cool.
wonderful.
Yeah.
It's a great time.
I'm trying to think of some other questions for you. What's your favorite sweet? I eat a lot of this.
Coffee.
God, Shelby, do you not have any? Is that
you know
your
what I
whole
really,
food
you know what I
group?
really like? Okay. It's gonna sound, okay, so bananas, when they're like almost too rotten, like really
mushy.
really mushy, so you take them, right? And you can like you don't have to put anything on them, but like take the peel off, don't leave the peel on. You can put like honey on it or like cinnamon or chocolate, whatever. Put it in the freezer, freeze it, comes out and it's like an icy goodness of heaven.
But is it totally frozen or is it slushy?
It's pretty frozen. I make sure it's
You lick that, you eat that.
You eat it. You chomp like real food.
It's not like a popsicle.
No, it's not like a popsicle. It's like a banana
I would never think to do that.
ice cream thing. It's really good.
All
You
right.
should try it.
I like peanut butter. Peanut butter, and like a big spoon peanut butter, and chocolate syrup.
Oh, well, that's ooh,
It tastes really good,
that's pretty good.
but it's messy because it falls all over.
It's fine. Just do it over a plate.
I do it over sink in the sink. Just sit in the kitchen and eat peanut butter and chocolate.
Do it over a plate next time, then you can lick that.
Yeah, that's right. I can get the chocolate back up. All right, this is going south.
It is going south. I think we're done with this. Unless there's any fire-burning questions in the next 10 seconds, we are going to sign off. But
Troy's like your biggest supporter, isn't he?
Troy's amazing. Troy and his
call coming in. There it is.
Did it go?
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll never know. When I play back, we'll find out. Yeah.
I'm excited for this release. I was happy to be a part of it, and it's a great song, and we went through lots of mix revisions.
We did. This was Mix Bus number 6 is what you all will hear, which is the final.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I'm proud.
Me too.
I'm very proud of it. It was a really fun experience because literally from beginning to end, Steven and I worked on this song literally from beginning to end, from the first words to the first chords.
That's right.
Together, just us. And you'll hear all 70-some, 90-some, 100 tracks. And it's pretty awesome. I'm
It is
excited for you all to finally hear the entire thing. So I think that's it for us on here.
Yeah.
But Mercy is coming out June 17th. And we're excited. And we're looking forward to sharing it. And hope you enjoy it, and if you do, share it and tell all your friends. We appreciate you.
Yes, absolutely. Tell everybody.
Tell them all. All right.
Tell it from the rooftops. Isn't that a song?
Go tell it on
The mountain.
Oh,
Got that wrong.
Everywhere. Go tell it on mountain. Was that because it was a Christian reference? Is that
No, it was just this figure of speech.
Okay. All right.
But it is a Christian reference.
It is a Christian reference.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Before this is done. All right. We're done. We're out. Stephen, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Shelby. Thank you, Troy.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for sharing. Oh, thank you. Well, you are amazing. You guys rock. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.